Germany, the host nations, are out. Spain 2. Germany 1 after extra time. Hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribing. We want your thoughts. We want your feelings. We want your opinions. As the hosts go home, the favorite for the tournament shoot on through to the semi-final. Lots to unpack, lots to digest, lots to get through. But we are now closer to knowing who will be the champions of the 2004 European Championships. And wow, what a game. What a game we were lucky enough and we were privileged enough to witness. And there is so much to talk about. There is so much to go through. There is so much to digest in that game. Referees, late goals. Everybody wants their views. Everybody wants their opinions. But this is what I want to speak to you about first of all. We are sponsored today by NordVPN. You should not, absolutely, categorically, should not be using the internet without protection. It's paramount that you don't do that. Whether it's people taking your data, whether it's people taking your passwords, whether it's just companies selling your data to other individuals to market to you, you should be able to use the internet and be as private and be as security conscious as possible. NordVPN is the best in the market. I've never come across a better VPN provider, and I've tried a number. You can get an exclusive deal from us, plus an extra 4 months free by scanning the QR code on the screen or clicking on the link below. But you know where it really works brilliantly? I'm currently here in Germany. Yes, there is German TV, but what I'm able to do is still connect to all my packages from back in the UK here in Germany by using the brilliant servers at NordVPN. So a lot of you are going on holiday this summer. A lot of you are traveling, but you may want to keep up to date with your content, your TV shows, etc., etc. Especially in those quiet moments, NordVPN can make that possible. So make sure you go and check it out now or at the end of the show by scanning the QR code or clicking on the link in our description below. Now, look, there is lots to talk about. There is lots to digest, but I wanted to start off with the penalty call. A lot of people are saying that Germany were robbed. A lot of people are stating that the Germans were hard done by in this game, and very late on, they should have had a penalty. And look, my nation is still in this tournament. And my nation still being in this tournament makes me a little bit biased. Because in the build-up to this game, I felt as though, and I still believe so, that Spain are the most difficult team left in this competition. Germany had been a bit hit and miss at times. I thought so far this tournament there's been a clear difference in quality. And today what we actually saw was two very capable teams. I thought it was high quality football on the large part, barring a lot of misses that includes both sides. And I think Fuente and I think Kai Havertz will be having some horrible cold sweats when waking up from their sleep in the next couple of nights after chances they missed in that game. It was a high-quality game, and I don't think we should be ignoring that. But let me give you my opinion. Was it a handball from Cucurella? No. I would love it to have been given. I would have loved to have seen the Spaniards go out because they are one of the best teams remaining. I was sitting here. I'm in Germany, and I'm thinking, you know, I'd love an England-Germany final. That's just me hoping, praying. So I kind of wanted the handball to be given. Yes, his arm is slightly out to the side, but he's moving. And it is in a natural position for the movement that he was making. He made no attempt to move his hand towards the ball. The close proximity, the power and speed of the strike, you cannot, in my very, very humble opinion, be giving that as a penalty. That would be the robbery. However, if you think it's a clear handball, you've got to explain why it's a clear handball. You've got to include the proximity. His arm is in a natural position. He isn't purposely making his silhouette bigger. And the arm, when you move, even if your arms are by your side, we don't expect footballers to move like this, do we? Some do, and they hold their hands behind their backs, but there's no rule that says they have to do that. For me, I would not have given it as a penalty. Outside of that, look, we don't rate Anthony Taylor as a referee. Okay, but he done what a lot of other referees have done in this tournament so far. It happened in the England game when they played Slovenia. A lot of early bookings given, And then similar tackles later in the game were not given as bookings. So highly frustrating indeed. I will say this about the game overall, though. Mentioned it already. High quality football match. High quality football match. I think Germany actually had the majority of the possession, the shots, I believe, as well. 22 shots to 18, 51% of the ball. It's pretty much 50-50. It was anybody's match. If we're going to be honest with you, it was anybody's match. And it just came down to who was the most clinical over the 120 minutes. And it was Spain. And as I've already mentioned, there was a chance very late on for Fulkrug. There were 2 early chances in the game for Kai Havertz. They're going to wake up in cold sweats. Those moments are going to haunt them. On an international level, that is going to haunt them. Because I feel if those chances were taken, well, we'd probably be in a penalty shootout right now. If Fulkrug takes his chances, Kai Havertz had 2 very early opportunities to put this game not to bed, but to give Germany a real substantial and firm grip on the tie. They were always chasing after conceding early in the second half. Of course, both goals. Listen, one of the weirdest situations in the whole game was Lamau being taken off so early. I thought, 61 minutes, I think it was? 63 minutes. Far too early, in my humble opinion. Influential in the game. Key in creating another goal in this tournament for Dani Olmo, who, of course, set up the winner. But the Germans kept plugging away. They kept plugging away, and they got their breakthrough in the 88th or 89th minute. Wirtz, who's been heavily criticized in this tournament for his lack of performance, his lack of clinical edge, his lack of delivery, comes up trump. An assist from Joshua Kimmich, climbed very, very high at the back post. And I felt from that point the Germans were going to kind of muster together that home spirit, that togetherness, and go on to win. And Wirtz himself had a good opportunity in the first half of extra time, and he didn't take it. Yes, there was the penalty shout and other opportunities, but in the end, it was just a lack of clinical edge. When we actually look at the Germans throughout the course of, look at Germany throughout the course of this tournament. Yes, they smashed up the Scots, but I do think they've been quite wasteful throughout a number of games in this tournament, and that habit of theirs is probably the difference between what has put the Spanish through and put them through. I'm not stating that the Spanish don't deserve to be through. Another very good performance from them. The game was more entertaining than I thought it would be. It was less cagey than I thought it would be. But it also demonstrated that, again, nobody is formidable and everybody can be got at in this tournament. Spain are the favourites from this point, but it could go anyway. It could go anyway. There are no foregone conclusions when it comes to Euro 2024. As ever, look, I want your thoughts. I want your opinions. We're going to delve into them. Dio is going to be joining me very, very soon. Some super chats first. How does Kukurea get away with that with 2 handballs? Why am I not remembering the first one? Someone sent me a video link of the first one. Why am I not remembering it? Maybe I was in the bathroom. Why am I not remembering it? Somebody come back and shout to me. Jerome here says, it was a beautiful game of football. Definitely did not deserve to go to penalties because none of these players deserved to be criticized to have missed a penalty. Total Hassam, when those two play, they come to play football and they delivered. Yeah, listen, and I agree. And I listen, I think there'll be individual players that will be looking at themselves and going, if I took my chances, this would be different. But in terms of overall performance, when you look at everybody as a collective, I think there's a lot for them to be proud of today when it comes to their delivery. I absolutely think there is a lot for them to be proud of as well, if we're going to be absolutely fair. And thank you for that wonderful, wonderful donation, my friend. Thank you very, very much indeed. Typical Havertz performance. He could be a 9'11" and still miss headers. There's just no power to his header, you know. He did well to rise. It was a wonderful cross. I think it was Kimmich who crossed the ball. Everything about it was good. There just wasn't the power. And you could argue the accuracy as well. It was a little bit timid. And yeah, look, he'll be disappointed in himself. He's better than he demonstrated today. He's better than he demonstrated today, but he will be thoroughly, thoroughly disappointed with his performance. There's no doubt. The Euros had now begun. Great game, Tell. Look, it's already begun. I've enjoyed the tournament profusely so far. Absolutely loved it. But this is when the real business starts. This is when the real players of the tournament stand up. This is when the real heroes stand up. The group games, you start to forget the group games. You even forget the first knockout game, quarterfinal, semi-final, final, the clutch games, the big moments for you and your nation. Dio is joining me now on the show. Welcome back, my friend. Another epic game. The Spaniards go through 2-1. Talk to me, brother.
I predicted Spain from the very beginning. Remember, the Euro started, and I told you, I said Spain is going to win the Euros. Forget anything anybody says. Like on paper, I still think man for man, Spain has just that little more edge over every other team. Like in certain positions, let me say in certain positions. But today's game was just, this is what we want to watch. This is the kind of game we want to watch. End-to-end football, last minute equalizers, the emotions, Germany as a team did not do enough. Like they should be proud of how they played, because both teams played very well. I'm not going to come here and criticize. Both teams played very well. I think Spain as well were very, very lucky in the sense that there were balls that Fulkrug missed, Havertz missed. I think they struck the bar once, if I'm not mistaken as well. And just little mistakes like that were not capitalized on, which Germany did not take their chances at. So Spain as well, when they took out Lamine Yamal and they took out Nico Williams, they had no more pace. And I was like, what are you guys going to do in 120 minutes if this is what you pulled them out so early? And I was wondering where they were going to get a goal from. Now, that second goal, I would never have predicted it. I was already ready for penalties. In fact, I missed the second goal. I went downstairs to get a drink. I was like, nah. I said penalties are going to happen. And I came back and it was 2-1. And I was like, wow. So I saw the highlights. So yeah, I think Germany as a team, I said this. I said if Spain gets past Germany, because this will be their toughest this is the toughest it's going to get for them. Everybody else going forward after this, I think Spain is going to smash them. Before a ball was kicked, I'd already called it. I'd called Spain to win. And most people thought, oh, why would you say that? They haven't even started the tournament. And I was like, well, if you just go look at every single player on their squad and every other team on the squad and look at them, and you want to go by just that, Spain edges everybody out just that little bit. And so yeah,
they certainly do. They certainly do, Spain. I think they deserve to win today overall, and they deserve the crown of favorites, if you like. But what I love is that, again, everybody's got that vulnerability. The French or the Portuguese could beat them. They are the favorites, but could beat them. And I love that about this tournament, because it gives such jeopardy to these games, as it were. I did want to ask you as well, Dio, before we go to Sam, quite a number of comments coming in, but this super chat here talking about Kai Havertz says, how does he get into the German side? There are better players than Havertz. He performed like this for Chelsea, Arsenal, and Germany. What is it going to take? He's trash. No one rates him. Let's be honest. A lot of people going in on Kai Havertz for his performance. As an Arsenal fan, how did you view his performance overall today?
His performance overall today, I would say, if you're talking the chances that he missed, very poor. He should be putting away those chances. But performance in general, his off the ball runs, taking players with him, helping to defend. He made one. There was one time he gave the ball away once. That I did notice. If you're talking general performance, I'd give him a 6, like general performance. But for the goals missed, just because of that, I mean, you should be putting those goals away if you are the center forward. So for that one, I would say that was very poor from him, to be honest. Would I say the header was something he should be putting away? The ball was, he was behind the ball. He had to get behind and nod it down. I play football. I know how hard that is, but you're tall enough. For me, I think maybe he jumped too early. That's the way I looked at it. It's not even just trying to say whether the goals, he should have put the goals away. That was poor poor from him. But if you're saying that he's not good enough, from what the super chat said, that is just general agenda and bias. You don't like Kai Havertz, and that's why you say stuff like that. Because if you look at it,
it's not agenda. Listen,
no. Here's what I'm saying. You say no. Listen, Hussam. You cannot.
Dio, I have to literally go in 2 minutes. So can I just speak, please, quickly?
All right.
Listen, it's not an agenda. It's the reality of the situation. Today, you need to understand, and this is where you're gonna hear.
How many goals the Fulkrug miss? How many goals the Fulkrug miss?
My brother, see, this is the problem. You say, I'm going to let you go, and then you interrupt 2 seconds in. Relax. Relax. I'm going to say this. This is what's going to show you I don't actually have an agenda. Today, you need to understand something. Every single German forward was all crap. Today, it's not just Havertz. It's Havertz and Fulkrug and Musiala. Every single one of them played like absolute dog shit. That's just the reality of the situation. So I cannot look at a single German forward today and go like, wow, he can leave the pitch with his head held high. They all played like absolute garbage, every single one of them. Now, there's a bigger message here. There's a more important thing. And I have to say this. We made it, Terry. We made it to the semi-final. We made it. Viva España, viva la Roja. I've been supporting Spain from the start of this competition today. My stomach was in my ass towards the end. I have no idea what De La Fuente was doing today. I have never seen worse in-game management the entire time I've watched football from the start of my existence watching this sport. I have never seen someone as dumb as De La Fuente today. How can you take off every single one of your bloody forwards when it's only 1-0? Every single one of them, Terry. Not just one. Morata off. Nico Williams off. Musiala, what's his name? Sorry, Yamal off. I understand that you want to go defensive, but go defensive in the 85th minute, not in the 63rd minute, against Germany. This is the thing that didn't make sense to me, by the way. Like today, and if you notice, guys, in the game, Spain was cutting Germany up, but they had no pace and power. This is why when Terry and me and Terry disagree on a lot. But one thing that we completely agree on is you need to be an athlete, bro. It's not just a matter of technique or GA or anything. You have to have pace and power. And today, watching Spain on the counter-attack was just like watching 3 giraffes just running slowly. It was so slow, bro. You know what they needed? Pace. They needed pace and power. That's all they needed. Nico Williams was getting in behind. Yamal was getting in behind. De La Fuente today almost cost his team. But we have to say today, man of the match performance for me was Dani Olmo. Absolutely phenomenal performance. And once again, this English referee, this bald fraud, Anthony Taylor, Cruz should have been sent off. It's always English referees every time. They can never let us rest, English referees. So we're escaping them by not watching the Premier League. No, because one second, that's important. We're escaping them by not watching Premier League. They follow us to the Euros. And then it's always a controversy with a bloody English referee. And it's always them doing this dumb shit. It's never going to change. Khalas, English referees are crap. It's just what's going to happen. And when it comes from Germany's perspective, I'll be honest with you, Spain defended with their life and they defended really well. And I thought that this is where I'm going to be honest about the De La Fuente stuff that I just said. I thought it was going to work because I have to give both sides of the equation. I cannot sit here and be a Chelsea fan and just blame manager 24/7. I have to give both sides of the equation. I genuinely believe that I thought deep down, guys, okay, this might work. This defensive approach might work. But then you played with fire so much to the extent, I think the worst one than the Yamal substitution was the Nico and Morata substitution because he just killed off all their pace. Mikel Merino, remember the name? I told Terry about him, I think, from the 3rd game when I watched him. I was like, yo, this guy is amazing. I said it on the street.
Mikel Merino, yeah, he's on the list.
Fantastic. Forget the goal. Forget the goal.
Forget the goal. Look, dude. By
the way, as a DM,
it's him and what's this guy's name?
Fabian Ruiz.
No, in his club. Him and
Zubimendi.
It's him and Zubimendi.
Yeah. Yo, that's what I'm saying. Listen, the guy is cold. He's very, very good player, very talented player. The problem is he's 28, and Premier League clubs like to sign like younger players and shit. But for me, listen, I am just saying, I'm so happy today. I was extremely happy, very, very, very happy that Spain won, and I think Germany deserved it today. They didn't. I think Spain were the deserved winners. I think Germany deserved to get knocked out, and France is next. I'm gonna go support Portugal now, so I have to go, Terry. I'm so sorry. Love, Habibi.
No worries, my man. No.
I'm with you, Terry. Yeah.
Come on, Portugal. Let's go. Yeah. No worries, my man. We've got a few more super chats here. This one says, I want to know how Dio is going to defend Kai Havertz today. Again, terrible performance with so many misses.
Man, when do people not learn? Nobody's defending Kai Havertz. None of the forwards that Germany put forward today. This is about the German national team. None of them did what they were supposed to do. Fulkrug that came in did not do what he was supposed to do. Kai Havertz did not do what he was supposed to do. They were all terrible. Musiala was piss poor. Literally all of them. The German front line, just were not clinical enough. It's that simple. That's all it is. It doesn't, to me, I would not watch Germany play, and because Kai Havertz plays for Arsenal, I'm focused on Kai Havertz. I already predicted Spain from the very beginning, before the Euro started. You can ask Terry, to win the tournament. So Spain has always been the team that I think was going to win the tournament. So whatever anybody wants to say about, oh, the individual players, we look at this team, we look at the team as a team. Defensively, I think, they were okay. I would say they were okay. But if you're speaking specifically to Kai Havertz, I've given my scoreline. I said, for me, overall play 6. But for missing the goals, that is poor from him. He was horrible when it came to being clinical in front of the goalpost. And that's what I think about Kai in today's game. In other games where he's played well and he scored, I will call it out. And in the games where he didn't play well, I'll call it out too. So he had his chances in front of goal. He was poor with that. But his overall play was no different from every other forward in Germany. Literally, they all played on the same level.
I understand that. This year said it was going to be a goal for Musiala, 100% a penalty. I don't know about you. I feel like that would have been a really harsh penalty to concede, personally.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, like, I really, a lot of the calls for the penalties, the handball, I think, to me, wasn't. I just let the game flow. And it's annoying when it's an English ref again. It's just like, why is it always with you that there's always some type of controversy as regards to not making the right call or not making the call? I was just like, nah, just let the game flow. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. And AA here says Rudiger is to blame for the second goal. Yeah, I did think Rudiger's positioning was really poor for that second goal. That's a great shout, AA. It was. And that's, if he'd have been in the right position, he may have been able to get his head to it. But there we go. Look, people, we will be back live after Portugal-France's shorter match reaction, because obviously there was extra time and everything else. We're going to go watch this game. We're live after Portugal-France, so make sure you're back with us here at the Football Terrace at Full-Time Dio. Always a pleasure to speak. And our viewers, listen, always appreciate the super chats, the likes, and everything else. Remember, go and check out NordVPN. You shouldn't be using the internet without a proper protective provider, and they are the best in the business. Scan the QR code or click on the link below. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you soon. Peace.